What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Movie Raise. The Vampire Diaries ended a long time ago, but the list of interesting stuff that happened behind the scenes and mind-blowing facts is never-ending. TVD ran for 8 seasons and focused mainly on the love triangle between Damon, Elena, and Stefan, whose journey the fans enjoyed. It should certainly not surprise you that the producers went through a complicated process, considering how many special effects were used in the show. So keep watching to see what The Vampire Diaries looks like without CGI. The story. Before we start, let's go back to see what kind of story TVD had to offer. The show was created by Julie Plec and Kevin Williamson. It started quite normally, and the plot was not so complex at the beginning. Elena Gilbert, Nina Dobrev, was recovering after her parents' unexpected death. However, during her grieving period, she met a new student, Paul Wesley. Her brother, Stephen R. McQueen, has found a way to cope with the tragedy by using drugs, and her young Aunt Jenna, Sarah Canning, is also getting used to the new situation. There's also the ex-boyfriend, Zach Rohrig, Elena's friend, Kat Graham, and Candace King. Sounds like a typical high school drama. Well, it most certainly isn't. So guys, let's get into the process of creation, shall we?
Just to see you get knocked on your ass. Borrow some gear. Go, before I change my mind.
Behind the scenes. Not many people know that The Vampire Diaries is an American supernatural teen drama television series developed by Kevin Williamson and Julie Plec, based on the popular book series of the same name, written by L.J. Smith. In the books, Elena's character had blonde hair and light eyes, but in the show, Nina Dobrev plays this character, and as we all know, she has brown eyes and dark brown hair. Also, she has straight hair, so the producers needed to improvise with Dobrev's hair. Now, Dobrev played multiple characters in TVD, including Elena's doppelganger, Catherine. As we all know, Catherine has gorgeous wavy hair. Not many people know, but Dobrev wore a wig when she was portraying Catherine. The reason this fact is not known is that the hair looks so natural. When it comes to The Vampire Diaries, the cast spent hours and hours getting ready, especially when it was about the makeup part. Since the show is about supernatural creatures, this is understandable. The show's actors who played vampires spent an enormous amount of time getting their faces ready. Some of them had to spend 3 hours being prepared for this role. A lot of them wore special contact lenses, fangs, prosthetics, and special makeup.
Wow, Caroline. Thank you for making this very difficult time so much easier.
The Salvatore Mansion. When you take a look at some behind-the-scenes shots from TVD, you can't believe how scary the producers made the show look. It's really rare to see the creators behind our favorite shows. Here you can see Kevin Williamson, one of the creators of The Vampire Diaries. He's standing next to Michael Trevino, who plays Tyler Lockwood in the series. While it's hard to tell, the two are standing in front of the Salvatore Mansion, and it hardly bears a resemblance to the shots used in the show. The photo was shot during the last season of filming when the cast was about to say goodbye. The blood. Blood plays a crucial part in The Vampire Diaries, and that's a part of any fantasy, sci-fi, horror tale. They drink blood more than people consume water, so what was the cast of TVD consuming for an alternative of blood? Well, prepare to be shocked. On the set of The Vampire Diaries, the fake blood used for portraying vampire meals was actually edible. In fact, it was not only edible, but it was also delicious. So if any of the cast was feeling hungry or ready for their snack, they could eat it, as it contained corn syrup, peppermint extract, and other yummy ingredients. As you can guess from a show about vampires, this television series needed lots of fake blood. When we say a lot, we mean the creators spent tons of money on this weird delicacy. This job was given to special effects artist Connor McCullough. He would make gallons of fake blood back then, giving the cast and crew enough to film many episodes at a time. Well, we never thought we'd say this sentence, but now we want to try the blood used in The Vampire Diaries.
Get out of the water, Elena.
If I get out of the water, you're gonna make me go home.
Yes, because I'm not an idiot like you.
CGI. Now let's talk about CGI. The first movie to use computer-generated imagery, CGI, was Westworld. The method involves contributing special effects on a computer, preferably than physically, has become an essential part of the movie industry, as more and more movies use CGI nowadays. Some really famous movies such as Titanic and The Matrix were just the beginning of the new world with CGI. Others, Tron and Young Sherlock Holmes, also used CGI and were later acknowledged for their well job done. Cats, which was released in 2019, was mostly criticized for its use of weird and unique CGI. Now, let's go back to the Vampire Diaries. The scenes you're seeing show what TVD looks like with and without the special effects used after they shot the scene, and the difference is shocking. Vampire eyes. If you're as obsessed with the Vampire Diaries as we are, you've probably questioned every detail from the vampire looks the cast had, especially that creepy vampire eye effect. Well, the marks on Ian Somerhalder's eyes were most definitely motion capture, but the whole edition process was way more complicated and difficult to achieve. Matt Beck is a senior visual effects supervisor, and he is the person behind the special editing process they used to make each vampire different. What we did was generate a 3D mapping of the skin, Beck said. So whatever tweaks are done to the veins are automatically run through a module that customizes it to the facial movements of the actor. Well, we can all agree he did a great job. Popularity. So, a decade ago, the pilot for The Vampire Diaries premiered on the CW and became the most watched series premiere in the network's history. Back then, the producers had no idea the show would get so popular that 2 spin-offs would be born. Instead of becoming just another vampire show, TVD made a boom in the vampire world. There was something special in the story of this show, and viewers quickly became addicted to it. Each of the actors in their roles had unique talents, and let's not even talk about the natural chemistry between the actors. Nina Dobrev and Ian Somerhalder were even a couple back then. It showed to be a perfect story, and more than 10 years later, the Vampire Diaries franchise is doing more than great with not its first spin-off, but second spin-off series, Legacies. So why do you think TVD was so popular? What made this show better than every other vampire show? Let us know. The final script. When Dobrev's character was removed from TVD, it was really a shock since she was the main character of the show. We saw Elena Gilbert in the pilot episode through a voiceover narration of her diary entries, and she played a crucial role until she went into an enchanted coma in the Season 6 finale. Season 7 started without the protagonist of the Vampire Diaries. Elena's absence created a controversy about the show. The fundamental basis of the show, based on a series of books written by L.J. Smith, was the love triangle between Elena Gilbert and vampire brothers Damon and Stefan Salvatore. So without her, the show felt empty in some way, and it focused on other things. And we're not saying Stefan and Caroline's romance wasn't great. It was more than that. However, the show simply lost its focus. Do you guys agree? While it wasn't always the plan for Nina Dobrev to come back for the season finale, she did. What you're seeing is Dobrev's final script for the entire series. At the bottom of the script, you can see just how many updates were made in the script. What's your favorite behind-the-scenes moment from The Vampire Diaries? Also, which character from TVD is your favorite? Please let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed our video, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of our videos in the future. As always, thanks for watching, guys.